Welcome to the Daily Influence, where our mission is to deliver a daily dose of positive influence that can uplift you personally or be shared within your sphere of influence. While not every episode may directly apply to your unique circumstances, we strive to provide insights and inspiration relevant to most people's daily, weekly, and monthly lives. Whether you are tuning in during the morning, noon, or night, the Daily Influence is here for you. Listen, share, and embrace the power of influence in your life.
Welcome to Daily Influence. I'm Greg Colino. Today on Daily Influence, I'm joined by a truly inspiring leader who is breathing new life into the wellness space, literally. Steve Spiro is the founder of Halotherapy Solutions, a company at the forefront of respiratory wellness innovation. His mission goes beyond just helping people breathe better. Steve and his team are deeply committed to the democratization of wellness, making health and healing accessible to everyone, regardless of income or status. From forming meaningful partnerships with community organizations like the Urban League in West Palm Beach, Florida, to being invited to serve over 1,500 disabled athletes and their families at the Invictus Games and soon the Warrior Games. Steve leads with heart, humility, and an unwavering commitment to purpose-driven impact. Steve, welcome to Daily Influence. Thank you for being here.
I'm happy to be here, and thank you for that wonderful introduction. So thank you.
You're welcome. Can you share a bit about your background and what led you to where you are today with our listeners?
Sure. It's interesting. I've had an interesting career. As you can tell, I have my New York accent. I'm from New York City originally. I worked for half my career. I worked for two big companies, General Electric and Motorola, right near you in Chicago, Schaumburg. And I spent a lot of time living overseas in Asia. And then this thing called the internet got started in the mid to late 90s. And a friend of mine came to me and said, we're starting this new company. I thought it was the craziest idea at the time, but I was ready to take a leap. And the company turned out to be audible.com. So I was on the founding team, and we created this giant business that everybody in the world knows about. And we sold it to Amazon. That was my first kind of introduction to startup, crazy entrepreneurial life. I've done 7 startups since, and I got into Halotherapy Solutions exactly 10 years ago. Today's our 10-year anniversary, so wish me a happy birthday.
Happy anniversary. Happy birthday to the company. That's amazing.
Yeah, we're thrilled.
Yeah, well, congratulations on all the success with your business. And this business that you have now actually is one that's near and dear to my heart. I love this type of therapy, and I'm excited for our team and people that listen to learn more about you and have a positive influence on them. Your company is grounded in the idea of making wellness accessible to all. What does democratizing wellness mean to you personally, and why is it such a core part of your mission?
No, that's a great question. And it's interesting because most people, and again, as the CEO of a company with 30 employees now, following the money, right, is usually the core and many times only the objective. So yes, we have incredible customers, 5-star resorts, 6-star luxury customers. And, many of them offer very high service prices, right? It could be $200 to $250 for a 60 to 90-minute massage, and which is great. We love our customers. But the more I've kind of looked at wellness in general, I've just found it to be, I fundamentally don't believe it should be a privilege or a luxury. Everybody wants to be better, especially more proactively for preventative. So I just looked around, and it was just a lot of underserved communities that, frankly, whether it was they had higher propensity for chronic disease, or they didn't have access to healthcare facilities or healthcare awareness, especially in the holistic approach. I just felt it was good for my personal soul, my company's soul, and it's frankly been very, very good for business.
That's wonderful. Sounds like you are having such a positive influence on so many people out there. Can you tell us about a moment or experience, perhaps at the Invictus Games or with the Urban League, where you felt you made a positive impact on someone's life through this work?
Yeah, that's a great question. So many people don't know what the Invictus Games is. It was started about 10, 11 years ago by Prince Harry, and it was to help wounded veterans from all around the world. It was kind of like the Paralympics for wounded veterans. It's been incredibly successful. As most of your listeners probably know, there's a high incidence of suicide. I think the number was 22 people, military veterans a day commit suicide. The amount of wounds, like physical wounds, like, not having an arm or a leg or blind, but almost more of a common problem is just very bad PTSD, right? It's the unseen wounds. So Prince Harry and his team, every 2 years in a different part of the world, get all these athletes and their families together. And throughout the year, they're training on sport. And it's been so inspiring, see them, really reclaim their confidence in lives. And, we were one of the 2 wellness equipment companies selected by his team as part of this healing hut. There were other massage therapists and physical therapists and mental therapists. We were one of the only equipment companies. So we had our Halotherapy respiratory wellness equipment there. And we treated, I think, like 1,500 athletes in their, it was great. And I remember, I'll never forget, one of the athletes said to me, spending, 2-3 times in this week with you was getting rid of 7 years of Afghanistan dust from my lungs. It cleared up my chronic cough. And from a stress perspective, if somebody can breathe better, they tend to have less stress, right? Because it's all kind of connected. So hearing these people literally with no arms and legs thanking me for providing the service was so inspiring and gratifying. It was just a small thing we could do to help, and it helped a lot of people.
Oh, what a wonderful story. Thanks for sharing that. And thanks for sharing the background on the games. It's such a needed thing. And I'm so grateful that your team and your product was invited to be there and you can help all those people.
They've invited us back to the Invictus Games in 2027 in Birmingham, England. We're now participating in the Warrior Games, which is a U.S.-based similar thing in Colorado in July. So we really want to give back to the military and in general underserved communities. It's a fundamental core part of how I personally think as the CEO and how our company thinks. And again, our employees love our commitment to this. Our customers love that. We've met some great partners. So it's not about, it's good for the soul, and it's good for business.
Steve, yeah, thank you. What a positive influence. In your leadership journey, how do you balance innovation and growth with staying true to your core values and the communities that you serve?
Yeah, it's kind of like what I said before. I feel like we have 2 missions. One, we're a profit-driven company. So that's, without, if we can't make money, then we don't have a business. It's kind of like when you get on an airplane and the oxygen mask fall, you got to take care of yourself first, because then you can help others. So we are very interested in making money, but again, giving back and recognizing again that wellness is just not a privilege is just fundamental to us. So I do try to balance things. I probably spend most of my time figuring out how to, keep my 30 employees paid, right? And keeping my investors happy. But I definitely spend a good amount of time helping others, get wellness that they otherwise might not have access to or understand.
That's wonderful. How do you foster collaboration with both like-minded companies and within your own team while maintaining alignment with the mission?
Right. So we internally, we have our own kind of mission statement and vision and, principles. And one of our core principles is giving back to others. Right. So that's like fundamentally written down on our core sheets that you kind of review every month on our team calls. And as far as other companies, so I'm very active on LinkedIn, for example. I have almost 15,000 followers, and I talk a lot about this giving back and democratization of wellness. And I get a lot of companies now starting to understand that it is good for the soul and good for business. So I've made a lot of good partnerships where they're now going to start contributing to some of these efforts we're making, and we become good business partners also. So again, it's kind of raising the bar for everybody. Just good things happen. I have no expectations when I start doing these things, but good stuff always flows from it.
That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Steve, what message or words of encouragement would you like to share with our listeners who aspire to make a positive difference in the world?
I just say, get started, no matter how big or how small. Like I had no idea how I was going to start. Just start. Do something today, do something this week. Just do something small. It'll feel good. You'll make an impact, and you're going to find like-minded people as part of the journey that is only going to make it bigger. So just get started.
Thank you for sharing that. Steve, if individuals want to learn more about your business or get in touch with you, what's the best way to do so?
Yeah, they can go to my website at halotherapysolutions.com, or they can email me directly at steve@halotherapysolutions.com.
Wonderful. We'll put that information in the show notes. Steve, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your advice and stories. This world's a better place with you, and we're so grateful for you to be here and share your story with us today.
Thank you. And the world's a better place because you highlight and amplify the things that many, many people are doing. So thank you for you contacting, reaching out. So this was great.
You're welcome. Thank you for listening to Daily Influence. If today's episode inspired you, share it with someone who could use a little positivity. And don't forget to like and follow the show so you never miss an episode. Keep leading, growing, and making a positive impact. One day at a time. Bye-bye.